I'm Brandy Cox, and I'm excited to tell you today about the Crop-a-Dile. So how many of you know what a Crop-a-Dile is? Well, I thought it was something that they used in the dentist office, potentially in the OB office. I don't know, it's pretty scary, definitely intimidating. But I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and they sell this in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Therefore, I needed to figure out what to do with this thing. So as I did some research, for those of you who do a lot of scrapbooking, and you're probably familiar with the old hammer and the little hole punch at the end of this thing. So the hammer tool was what we used a lot of the time when we were setting different eyelets and grommets and things. But as you know, if your kids are sleeping and you are scrapbooking and all of a sudden you're like bam, 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 and your husband is like, what the heck is going on? I'd have to retreat to the garage. No longer do I have to do that because I have this fantastic thing called the Crop-a-Dile. All right, so today we're going to set an eyelet and a jumbo grommet. So how do we know what the base of our Crop-a-Dile is? You'll see here the word base, and it's on both sides, so that's how you can tell what the base of your Crop-a-Dile is. You know, there's also the hole punches. You'll see on the top of the Crop-a-Dile is the 1/8 inch hole punch, and the very bottom is the 3/16 inch hole punch. There's only two choices, folks. So if you have a smaller eyelet, you're going to want the 1/8. If you have a bigger jumbo grommet, you're going to want your 3/16 inch hole punch. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and punch a hole. This is chipboard, so it's tough, it's sturdy. It's not real easy if you were to punch a 1/16 inch punch to do that. So the nice part about it is the Crop-a-Dile is nice and sturdy. We're going to stick it here in the top. We're going to punch our hole through. You see, you got a nice punched hole, and I actually did it with one hand. Now you can do it with both hands, of course, but it's really easy. Now what is a grommet? Well, Stampin' Up! Sells all kinds of different grommets. We've got eyelets and grommets, and so this is a large jumbo grommet. It's kind of a silver metal pewter type thing. Love it. It looks great for accessorizing your scrapbook and your cards. One thing I like to do with it is I like to make these little purses, but I want the handles to be sturdy rather than having my ribbon slip out of the holes. Therefore, basically, I've punched my two holes and added my grommet, and I've smashed it nice and flat in the back with the Crop-a-Dile, and it just adds a little accent to my purses and things. So love it. So anyway, what we're going to do is I've punched a hole already, 3/16 inch hole. Here's my grommet, my my pewter grommet. What you're going to do is you're going to push it through the chipboard. That's all I've done now is I've just pushed it through. You'll see it's raised in the back, so if you were to leave it like that, you could potentially, somebody could scratch themselves, or it is raised. You want that to be flat to set it so that it doesn't come out. So what we need to do now is we need to set our Crop-a-Dile for a 3/16 inch jumbo grommet. So how do we do that, and how do we know how to set the Crop-a-Dile, right? Well, when you purchase your Crop-a-Dile, Stampin' Up! Gives you directions. So the directions show you that A coordinates with 1 and B coordinates with 2, depending on the eyelet or the grommet or the item, the snap that you're actually setting. Now, I knew that my system of filing system was not real good, so I went ahead and took the information that they had given us, and I did a post on my website. So that way I always had something to go back to refer to as far as which number coordinates with which letter for which grommet or eyelet that I was setting. So you can find that on brandyscards.com. All right, so how do we know? Well, on the instructions for the jumbo grommet, A is the letter and 1 is the setting. So you'll see here on the base, it's actually the numbers on this little square here. As many of you have seen, this square flips around, it rotates. And so I am going to find the number 1. So here's the number 1. So we're going to push it back flat in there. Now what you want to focus on is, yes, you can see the numbers on all sides, but you want to focus on the bite of your Crop-a-Dile. So the 1 needs to be on the inside. Same thing with the letter. We need the letter A. So we're going to pull it down. We're going to spin it around until we find an A. There's B and there's A. So we're going to pop it back up in there. Again, we need to focus on what the bite of the Crop-a-Dile is. So A needs to be on the top, 1 needs to be on the bottom. So let's pick up our grommet that's already set in our chipboard. And you'll notice in the Crop-a-Dile, this very top where your letter is, the A, we have a piece that's extended, that's hanging down, I guess, the extended piece, that is where the pretty part of your grommet is going to go. So I guess if you think about it, that this is the base, then you always want to put your grommet so that the pretty part is facing up and kind of the part that you want to smush, the base, is down. Now you're going to go ahead and stick it so that the grommet, the extended piece, goes down in the middle of your grommet. And you'll see that when you kind of put it in the bite, now I'm not smushing it yet or smashing it down. I'm just holding it. It's nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere. You can use both hands if you want. I typically do, but you don't have to if you're strong enough. And you just give it a nice little squeeze, and there you have it. It's set. So it's nice and flat. It looks really pretty. And it is so much better than hammering because I was afraid my husband was going to kick me out of the house as I am hammering away up here. So anyway, so that is how that works. Now you can also take these little 1/8 inch eyelets. They're fantastic. They're little. And again, we used to hammer, but instead with the Crop-a-Dile, you do the exact same thing that you did with the 3/16 inch grommet, but you're going to punch a 1/8 inch hole, and you're going to stick the 1/8 inch eyelet through it, and then you're going to go ahead and set your settings. And the settings for the 1/8 is going to be C3. So again, you're going to focus on the bite. So you're going to have 3 on the bottom and C on the top. And you're going to put it through there, smush it, and it should be flat and pretty just like this one. And there you have it. So that is the Crop-a-Dile, folks. It is a fantastic tool. I love this thing, so I'm so grateful to have a Crop-a-Dile. If you don't have one, I highly recommend that you get one. There are some tools that I get and I've been told, oh, you can't live without it, and then I get it and it's like, what? Yeah, I didn't need that. This one you do need. It's fantastic. Love it. Awesome, awesome. So I appreciate you stopping by. I hope that you find my video today helpful, and I hope you experiment with your Crop-a-Dile. Thanks again, and have a great afternoon.